Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back. You're watching iAllegedly. And I've got a good one for you. This morning the sun is shining. It's hot. It's a nice day out here. I went to the park, feed the geese and the ducks. And I want you to get ready because they're coming after you. You're next. So before I get into it, please take a second. Please like the video. Please hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell notification so you get notified on everything we're doing. And today we have a sponsor, Patriot Gold Group, which I will talk about a little later, but let's get right into it. You've heard the stories that the IRS is looking for creative ways to come after each and every one of us. And what they did last time was the low-end income earners, people that made under 50 grand a year. In 2021, they mounted a campaign to come after people that were in the lower echelon that took a lot of deductions. So if you had a side hustle business, things like that, and you just deducted everything to the moon, they were going to come after you for their fair share because people just whittled it down to nothing on their tax returns. What they're saying now is no, we're going after the high income earners, people that make above 400 grand. We're going to go after those people because they're not paying their fair share. Now, one thing that I got a kick out of is people, when you start to get successful, people like have ideas. Hey, you should do this, you should do that. One thing that was very popular with YouTubers a couple years ago was move to Puerto Rico. Okay, become Peter Schiff, live in Puerto Rico, and you can get this tax haven status once you develop residency. And it is incredibly inexpensive, and taxes are incredibly cheap in Puerto Rico. They don't have state income tax. You basically pay this one very low tax for being there once you are a citizen, so people would establish residency and do that. Well, the government got onto that, and they say right now that there are almost 1,000 people living there that have used that status that make in excess of $2 million a year, and they have an established residency. In other words, they say, I live in Puerto Rico, and they're not. Now, for a guy like me, okay, well, where's Dan at? Okay, Dan's in Orange County, California. Well, it's kind of difficult for me to say I live anyplace else other than Orange County, California, because of where I shoot my videos about 85% of the time. So there's that. But they're going after these people in a big, big way. They anticipate that there is tens of millions of dollars a year just from these individuals that they've been beat out of in taxes, and they're going to get their fair share. They anticipate that there's going to be assessments on as much as $200 million in income from some of these rich people that they've been going after right now. That is wild, guys. That is a lot of money that they're looking at. So it's going to be interesting to see how this gets laid out. Dwight D. Eisenhower Park, little Eisenhower. Okay. He died in 1969. I know that because of the plaque. But what you're seeing is a lot of things change when it comes to the IRS and all these agents that they're hiring. And what they're looking for is side income, side hustles, ways for you to pay your fair share. Now, everybody has to do this. Everybody's got to be realistic with what they're doing. And yeah, I brought some pretzels to feed the geese. It's okay, I ran out of bird food. Okay, so I had a high school reunion over the weekend, and you can guess which year it was. But one thing that's funny was a lot of people follow the channel, and one guy in particular came up to me and was, listen to me. See the woman in the blue dress? Okay, that's my wife. Do me a favor and just don't get in too serious of a conversation with her. I'm like, okay, yeah, sure, no problem. Because yeah, she watches your channel all the time, but she really wants me to be on a budget. And oh man, Dan, come on. I believe in YOLO. You only live once, and I believe in the money I make, we should spend. No, this guy's been married for like 30 years and still lives his life like a boy, okay? In other words, oh, I'm going to go buy that. Oh, I'm going to go, travel. I'm going to go do this. It was funny, okay? And, it was nice seeing a lot of people that I've seen for, known for 50 years of my life. But anyways, but this one guy in particular was really funny because he was just like, please just don't get into a heavy conversation with her. Now, what's funny is she's probably going to watch this video and goes, hey, I was wearing a blue dress. Were you talking about me? So it'll be interesting to see, where that goes. But the reason why I bring this up is my son is a college student. My son calls yesterday and says, hey, listen, August 6th through August 8th. I'm thinking about coming home for a little bit of time. Do you mind? No, come on home. See ya. Well, it'll be great. Hey, listen, any chance you could buy me a airline ticket? You know, just one way. I'm like, well, what do you mean one way? What are you talking about? Well, I want to be doing something with my friend, and we're gonna drive here and drive there, and I just don't know. I said, no. I want a game plan. I'm not buying anything without a game plan. Well, what do you mean? I want to know what you're going to do while I'm here. I mean, if I have to go film or if I have to go do anything with my schedule, no, I can't babysit you. I can't worry about you. You can come, but I'm not going to do this free love, free spirit, YOLO, mentality of your life. No way. Okay. And it's funny. There's a guy in his 50s that I'm telling you, if I reversed it, he's living the same life that my 20-something, early 20-something year old son's living, where it's just like, really? You're gonna put that on me? I have to be responsible and tell you what I'm gonna do? Yes. So much so that he called his sister and said, can you believe what Dad's doing? Dad wants me to lay out exactly what I'm gonna do and what I'm gonna be. And she's like, no, you're kidding. You're calling me for this? You're kidding. Remember last time you did this when you quit school, the last school you went to? I'm sure that's what Dad's thinking. I never even thought about that because he's really happy where he's at. But now it got me thinking, wait a second, no, now I'm really glad I did that. But there are people that live their life this way and don't get the severity of what we're going through right now. Now, Rob Dix, it's his real name, Rob Dix, is in the UK. He is a famous author, and he's talking about the problem with the real estate business and industry in the UK and how it is completely upside down, and it has started to fall and started to collapse in the UK. Now think about this. If you have great credit in the UK and you've got a good job, interest rates shot up to 6.7%. They generally write loans for 2 years, not 30 years like they do here. So these people there in the UK have had to get clipped and paid so much money more for their house. Imagine you are living in a house and you have to pay $1,800 more a month for the same house that you lived in last month because you have to refinance that loan. That's what they're experiencing in the UK. And with that experience, it's completely destroyed people financially. Housing prices have gone down in the last year 12.5%. If that's not a correction to you, if that's not a collapse to you, then you don't know what that is. Now, this guy is the real deal. And again, his name's Rob Dix. Okay? That's what he does. Anyways, Rob Dix. Anyways, Mr. Dix is in the UK, and he's an author, a real estate author. And he is talking about how this is the beginning of this. When you add the pound losing value, where are we else losing value? How about the dollar is losing value? When you have that, you have an economy that's going upside down. Real estate prices are going to fall even further. He thinks it could go down another 25% in the UK. Now, when you saw 20% increases in a year, these people just lived the dream during that time. And it was, everything was great. What are you talking about? Things dropping in value. They're never going to drop in value. They're going to continue to go up, and we have to buy now or it's going to be too late. Where do you draw the line at that? Seriously. Do you sit there and say, wow, this is serious. We've got to work on this. We've got to cut back. Again, people that bought their houses, there are 400,000 people in the United States alone that are considered upside down in their purchases in the last 2 years. Where does that go? Where does it go in the UK? I had so many people in the UK write me, and I really like to look at some of these emails again where people, hey, my husband wants to buy a house and I don't want to, and I think it's a bad time, and I think we should listen to you. They're coming over for food. Yeah, you should. You should just wait. What's wrong with waiting a little bit right now? Now, my buddy, one of the foreclosure guys, is at a foreclosure auction today where the properties are starting at over $2 million for the minimum bid. One of the houses is worth $5 million. So this is going to be shocking to see this thing go to a live auction. And you haven't seen anything yet. But people need to prepare themselves because what's going down is going to get really intense. These are Canadian geese. Okay. So, how are you guys? Thanks for coming out. Anyways, share your thoughts on this stuff so far. You know, what do you think? Seriously, do you think that we're going to see things drop even more? What about a budget? Again, a kid in his 20s, a guy in his 50s that lives the same lifestyle. I mean, I'm sure he'd be friends with my son. Nice guy, great guy. I've known him since I was a kid. But come on, man. Really want to live like you're afraid that I'm gonna? Yeah, you should be in a budget. Like I'm gonna sit there to party and talk about that. Okay. So needless to say, that's not what I talked about. And it was nice seeing everybody. Let's talk about our sponsor, Patriot Gold Group. You know, with the economy and everything that's going on right now, you have to prepare. Don't go along with the herd. Do something different. Call the good people at Patriot Gold today and find out how you can get an IRA or 401k that's backed by physical metals. Call them today at 888-330-1431 before it's too late. Look at what central banks are doing. Look at what billionaires are doing. And look at the banks that have warned us all that gold is going to go through the roof. You don't want to miss out on that. So call them today, 888-330-1431. Think about it this way. You insure everything in your life, your car, your house, your boat, your motorcycle. Why not insure your money to make sure that it's going to be protected in the future? Do that today. Call Patriot Gold. They're #1 rated with Consumer Affairs for 7 years in a row, and there's a reason for that. I'm not just a spokesman. I am a customer of theirs. I love the company. I love their customer service. Call them today before it's too late. Let them know that I allegedly sent you. But get a free investor guide and find out how gold can change your retirement for the better. Man, oh man, are we living in a different world. Janet Yellen goes to China and she ate magic mushrooms. Zhangshou Ging mushrooms, which when they're undercooked have psychedelic properties. I was going to originally title this video, Janet Yellen dropped acid, but I came to my senses. So anyways, Janet Yellen dropped acid. I love it. Anyways, Janet had 4 servings and said that they were delicious and they have psychedelic properties, and she just enjoyed herself on that. But we are living in a crazy, crazy world, guys. We really are. We really, really are. What is the #1 group of people that are experimenting with the hoochie? Okay, smoking the hoochie. That would be people of the AARP crowd, which I don't consider myself. These people are older than me, 65 and above. That's the larger percentage of people that are smoking marijuana right now and dropping acid like Janet Yellen. So, okay, isn't that crazy? So you got such a huge percentage of people doing that, and absolutely crazy.
Hey, man.
What? I'm not filming you, dude. Don't worry about it. It's pointed at me, dude. Okay? See, it's pointed at me. Okay? I know.
Yeah, you are.
So, oh, you think so? Yeah, your mom doesn't think so. So, anyways, so you got all these people that are older smoking weed and doing all this stuff, and it's absolutely crazy. So I just had a guy very upset with me here in the park. He's telling me I was a cuckoo head. And anyways, what do you guys think about that? I think it's nuts. I think that we're seeing more and more old people that are doing this. And, you know, Janet Yellen, okay? It's kind of crazy that we're seeing stuff like this right now. So. I found another great story about the Bank of America scandal and if you have money coming and how to get it. So you're going to get more information coming out about this over the course of you know, the next months. But it's getting, you know, pretty crazy. And there's $100 million that they're giving out in various different ways. One thing that was crazy that was sent to me was people that go to Costco. Bankingrate.com did a survey on 1,000 Costco members and how often they go to Costco. How about this? 5% of all Costco members go every day. 29% go every week. 22% go twice a month. Hello, that's a lot. But here's what I wanted to share with you guys. I have to cheat and use this numbers. 5% spend under $50 a day, 8% spend 201 to 250, 10% spend 251 to $300, 6% spend 301 to 350, 9% spend $351 to $400, and 8% spend $400 or more every visit they go to Costco. That is wild right now, guys. That's a lot of money right now. So shocking, okay? I mean, I love Costco, but it's crazy. Now, one thing we've talked about in the past is banking or shopping self-checkout. And when you go through self-checkout, you run the risk that people get arrested for this. Well, there's a man that owns Tally's Tally's home food restaurant in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and this guy was using the app to pay at Sam's Club. And what he would do is he would use the prepaid app, he would get things, and then he'd have a big cart and wheel out things. Well, what they started to do was they started this thing called inventory, an inventory check, and noticed what was missing. And then they went through the cameras on specific days and realized that this guy was taking pallets full of food to his restaurant, and he got arrested. So wild, guys. But normally they catch these people, accidentally stealing stuff. But this guy was caught red-handed, and the story's below on that. So you're seeing more and more of these problems like that, where people, they pull a shot and they try to sneak out with, food and purchases and things like that. So just a matter of time, guys. All these PPP loans, all these EIDL loans, think about this. There is a group of people. There are states right now that they've narrowed down to 13 regions in the country with COVID money that had excessive amounts of COVID. And what they're looking at now is the agents that help people write these loans. So these agents that came out and were like loan brokers and things like that, hey, say this, do this, and you'll get yourself a PPP loan. They had certain people that had just a huge amount of those, and they're catching up to these people. So it's just a matter of time, guys. One thing I get a kick out of is how artificial intelligence is going to take over for so many different things that you wouldn't even think about. Now, City of Santa Monica here in California is testing artificial intelligence with parking problems, parking tickets, parking violations. So you're going to sit there and say, you know what, we're a little late in the meter. Let's go back to the car. Oh, guess what? No ticket. Well, great. We got lucky. In fact, I did that this weekend when I was filming at the beach. Paid for it and then realized, got sidetracked talking to somebody, came back to the car and felt like I won something because I didn't have a ticket on my car because I was definitely about 25 minutes late on the meter. Not anymore with City of Santa Monica. They're just going to sweep by with AI and they're going to give you a ticket. What else? Here in California, they were the first state to do the red light cameras, and they would check people for that, and back and forth, lawsuits, you ran the red light. And I had an employee that worked for me, and this was 20 years ago, was an idiot, and he would borrow my car and run errands with it when I wasn't in the office. If I was going out with somebody else, and he would take my car because the keys were left there. Okay? Well, I got red light tickets with this idiot driving the car. And I wasn't driving, so it's not me. I don't know who this guy is, but anyways, we had a conversation about that. So you're going to see things like this come out, and you're going to see lawsuits go all over the place. But then this goes to the next thing. With the dating sites, you're seeing more and more men, especially, that don't have an ounce of game and don't know how to communicate with anybody, friends, women, anybody. So they use these chat bots to respond to women on dating sites. How? Okay. See, this is where profanity would just fit in perfectly. Okay, knucklehead. Okay, let's just leave it at that. What are you going to do when you have to sit down and have a meal with this woman, or coffee, or a drink, or anything with her, and she realizes that you're the most unsmooth idiot on the planet Earth? I don't know, Dan. Okay? But think about this. AI dating, AI answering all your your text messages on the dating sites. I mean, this is just, it's weird. We live in a world where people don't want to communicate. People don't want to pick up the phone and call people. Isn't that crazy? So it's nuts, guys. It's absolutely nuts. But where does it end? Where does this go from there? I'm looking at different cruise ships and things like that I potentially want to go on. And somebody out of the blue sent me this brand new cruise ship that when you see it, it's overwhelming. They could be the world's largest cruise ship with 10,000 people on it. Does that interest you? Traveling with 10,000 people? No, 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 no. I know somebody that went on a cruise last year. There were 80 people on the boat. I'm like, wow, that sounds great. Yeah, it was really private, really nice. I had 3 crew members for everybody. It was just fantastic. Well, that sounds great. Doesn't that sound good? That sounds like a vacation. Okay? You know? Some of these cruise lines are insane. Some of the drunken banter and some of the crazy things that you see are unbelievable. And that doesn't really interest me on a vacation. So share your thoughts on that stuff. I'm going to finish this video with these last few stories. And the first one was a man had an original iPhone, shrink wrapped in a drawer, found it, and said, wow, I bet you this is worth some money. It's a 4 gig iPhone, 4 gigs, which at the time was like, wow, that thing's got 4 gigs to it. It's crazy. And all we could compare it to was our half a gig, iPod Shuffle and things like that. So this thing was the state of the art. They just sold it at auction, this tech auction that gets tech gadgets, sold it for $190,000. Isn't that wild? 190 grand. So that's the thing. Don't throw stuff out, guys. If you have certain electronics and certain toys and certain collectibles, my mother threw out all my wacky packages that I'd probably be able to retire if I owned that, but she threw them out when I was a kid. So the next thing is the plant-based food business, Impossible Meat, Beyond Meat, all that stuff. It shot up, made a ton of money. The stock prices went to the moon. And now reality sets in, guys, because people are like, what are we going to do to fix this industry? It doesn't taste good. It doesn't taste like real meat. And people like fried fatty goodness. Don't ever forget that. People like something decadent every now and then. Okay? I had dinner with a lady who said, I don't do dessert. I'll drink more champagne. Oh, okay. You know what I mean? That's what people change things for. So, final story, and that is The Bachelor. We've all seen that show. One thing that I did when I was in the entertainment industry was I wrote what they call a deck for a reality TV show based on this older guy who was a degenerate serial dater, who was in his 60s, who was somebody that you wanted near. No woman in your life you wanted this guy near, because he would hit on everything. The law of averages, Dan. If I hit on everybody, eventually they go home with me. But I mean everybody, from the waitress to your mother to your grandmother to everybody. This guy made a fake ID, okay, to make himself 55 years old so he could go to speed dating, because they told him he was too old to do speed dating. And he was a degenerate. So he got a fake ID to be younger. Now, The Bachelor is going to have the Golden Bachelor. It's going to be the host is 71 years old. It's going to be older men dating older women. Okay? But remember, Dan did it first. I got the deck from 10 years ago and a sizzle reel for this guy that I should show you guys, because that is insane. Okay? So, anyways, Golden Bachelor. Will you guys watch the Golden Bachelor? Grandma, go out on a date? Yeah. I think you'd watch I can't tell you the name of my show because it would just give it away. But it'll be interesting to see how they do this. With SAG and with all this stuff, you're seeing more and more problems with the industry. Barry Diller, who ran a studio at one time, I think it was Viacom. Anyway, somebody will correct me. He said if these strikes don't get settled in 2 months, the entire Hollywood industry will go down for the count. Wouldn't that be awesome to see? From a guy who was a screenwriter who hated the fact that everything keeps getting redone over and over again. There's TV shows that they're rebooting again and again and again. Okay? Lucky us. We get to see it all over again. So, share your thoughts, guys. Don't forget to hit the like button. And again, guys, Christmas in May, everything's getting mailed out today. So be on the lookout. Go to christmasinmay.com to make sure if you were a winner or not. And I want to thank all the sponsors and everybody that gave cool stuff. Okay? I will see you guys very soon.